First off, we're so sorry once again, obviously having this news through. Can you tell us how you are, how the players are?
Yeah, I think one or two might be a little bit. I think when it's whilst everybody expects the worst, it's when it happens. I got a phone call last night in the evening, and it was strange, really. I think obviously it brings the family peace, and I think that's what we got. Offers them comfort, doesn't it? That's what Sharon said right from the start. It gives them comfort in that respect. But the answer to your question, I don't really know, because I've not really been with the players till we're training after this, so I don't really know. One or two have always been a little bit, sensitive.
I suppose it's having time to process it. I mean, while everybody expected the worst, there was still, while there was no news, I suppose there was still a tiny little element of hope. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword, I guess.
Yeah, it is, and I don't think you can say much more about it. It's what it is, and we have to carry on.
Have you had a chance to have any contact at all with the family at this stage, or will you be having any contact?
I spoke to Missy, who's the agent, the French agent, last night, because he's been keeping me involved, and he was, he's telling me about the family. So I think our conversation really has got to be kept private, really.
Yes, of course. A lot has been said about having an element of closure in these sorts of things, that but sometimes that can bring an element of comfort. Do you think it will bring some comfort in some way to you and the squad, albeit obviously it's been a tragedy, and obviously there's the element of a club record signing that you could have had with you?
Yeah, I mean, that's the least of my worries, the record signing. I think the finance doesn't come into it from my point of view. It's the human, and I think when we've said about brings the family peace and comfort, I think the same goes for the club. I think they've handled it unbelievable. I think I couldn't be more grateful to Mehmet and Ken. The way they, keeping everything together off the field, and it's made it that I've been able to just concentrate on keeping the team together and things on the field of play, which has been, because it has been an amazing. I think the time limit and everything like that, they've been fabulous, those two.
Obviously, this was the news that nobody ever really wanted to hear, but there's been such a swell of emotion from fans from the club throughout the footballing world and the wider world. Has that surprised you in terms of the way that the Cardiff fans have reacted, particularly what we've seen at the Arsenal game and the Bournemouth game, in terms of taking them so closely into their hearts and their emotions?
Well, I think when I think I've seen it all in football, I think that our fans keep surprising me nearly every week now. It used to be every few months when I first started, but it's almost every week now. I don't think there's anything that would surprise me now with them. And I have to say, I think the Arsenal fans, the Bournemouth fans, I think everybody around, you've seen all the tributes from all over the place, from little clubs in the second, third division, the old third division, to the top clubs. And I think when something like this happens, it brings all the football family together, really.
Does it make you glad to be part of the football family when you see everybody coming together like this?
I think it shows that everybody's thinking on the same wavelength, really. That's the thing. I think it's a loss to everyone. I know we're the closest, but it's a loss to everyone in football because when you look at for example, the finance that they were able to just raise from world-class players around the world in a space of a few hours to enable the search in the first place, which I found was amazing, really, and which I would have wanted to do if it was my child, So I think it's been unbelievable, the response all the way around.
Obviously, we've seen some lovely tributes paid both at the Arsenal game and the Bournemouth game, and I think there's probably wasn't a dry eye in the house probably watching an awful lot of that. What would you like to see happen at Southampton this weekend? Do you feel that it needs to then go on, or does there come a point where you have to say, right, well, we've got to allow the family to just grieve in private now, and we're having to...
I think they will do. I think we've just got to pay our respects now again regarding now the situation has come to an end in regarding Emiliano. There's a fact that I think we should, as normal, wear black armbands and have a minute's silence. I'm sure things like that will be adhered to this weekend. I think even the Southampton fans will want that as well.
And how about you? I mean, you've obviously liked so many people being battered by what's happened. Has it made you? I know you probably have taken stock. What sort of, where do you feel you are at this particular point in time with all the events that have happened?
Yeah, I mean, my mind's been back on football as well, as it's got to be. I'm sort of steer the ship sort of thing, But I have to say the boys have been fabulous, and the staff. Kevin and Ron's been great to me, and everybody in the staff-wise. Ken Chew, as I've said, he's been around all the time and helpful. And it does matter when you're a team, off the field as well as on it. It does make it easier. I think you could see, even at Arsenal, you could see the response from the players. Probably the best game away from home against a top team that I've probably done. I thought the Bournemouth game again was a very good game for us from our point of view, football-wise. So I can't really ask any more than that. I'm going to ask them again to lift themselves at Southampton as well.
Judging by what they did at Bournemouth and obviously the performance at Arsenal, you're expecting something special from them again this weekend, I think.
Well, I just want them the same attitude and the same play. I thought we played some good stuff, and I think that when they play like that, it's enjoyable to watch. Really, I was stood on the line at Arsenal and loved every minute of it. Even though I didn't enjoy the misses, but in general, to play against a side like that, I thought it was super. And same on Saturday. I can't fault that. I don't think there'll ever be a question mark about me questioning the commitment of my players. I think that's what's got us here in the first place. Probably a little bit earlier than we thought, but I don't think that will ever be in question. They always give me everything. It might be limited at certain times, but they don't really get much criticism from me.
Finally, from me, I appreciate it's still very much a painful subject, but what would your personal tribute like to be to Emiliano?
I just think he was a Neil Warnock type of player, really. He was. I always thought that he was a scruffy type of player that would, for me, score 10, 15 goals every year at the top level. But not just that, work hard as a team player. Just fits the criteria really for what I look for in a player. Somebody that can do something special, but at the same time is a very good lad. He was a really nice lad. So I think that would be my memory of him. And his clothes.
You liked his clothes?
Sorry?
Liked his clothes? You admired
His clothes were different. I've got a little bit like Omar, and today he's come with some as well. There's 2 or 3 of them now, I think, fashionable.
You want to hand them a needle and thread and tell them to sew their jeans?
No, I know. I have tried that in the past, but my daughter wears them as well now. So,
Best of luck.
thank you very much.
Morning, Neil.
How you going?
Just to pick up on that point, you met Emiliano. What kind of guy was he? What was his potential, do you feel, as a footballer?
I think because he wasn't a young kid, he was a lad at the prime, I felt, and I think he knew that he had things to prove. He'd been in I could say, comfort zone in France. He'd improved every year in the last few years, and I think he was just ready. He was a little bit fearful of the challenge ahead. But I think he was, he knew that he had to try and make that step now and see, because I thought he could score goals in the Premier League, and he did, and I just said to him, it'd probably easier coming to a club like Cardiff, where we've got such a good group of lads, than probably going higher to a group that's probably a little bit, probably got more ability, but not got the dressing room spirit. So I thought that, I thought it had all the ingredients to mix, really, and I'm sure it would have done.
And could you sense the excitement for him at coming to play in the Premier League?
Yeah, I mean, originally, early on in the deal, there was a newspaper report about him not wanting to come, and when I first met him, I spoke to him about that, and he said that was ridiculous and never been said. I said, "Oh, that's the usual thing in England. You don't say that, and there's a headline." So I said, "You get used to that in England. Facts never get in the way of a good story."
And you call him a Neil Warnock type player. There was obviously something in his personality, because that's a big thing for you, character, personality. There was something in there that you...
Yeah, he had a dry sense of humour, and his music tastes were, I heard a couple of his tracks of his music. So he just he's just a nice lad, really. I don't think anybody. I've not heard anybody have a bad word to say about him.
And just picking up on Fran's point about your feelings now, there was some suggestion this week that this could be an event that made you consider your future here. Is that still the case? Or is that
I think that was a little bit over the top. I just said it made you think about whether you want to carry on in football. I think that was the comment, probably. And as always, you always get certain tabloids make a meal out of it. But I went in the local paper and put that to bed, really. It's a challenge for me, yeah. Probably more of a challenge with all the things that's happened in the last few weeks. But I think anybody that saw us play the last couple of games know that I think we're all up for that. I think the players are up for that. I know I am, and I know Mehmet and Vincent are as well. So it's it's a challenge we've got to try and face head on.
For the family and friends, obviously, the trauma of this will go on for a long time. For this football club, can you start to move on from this point?
I think so, yeah. I think everybody, we all have, things like this happen in our lifetime, and I think you just have to. You have to get on. It just moves on. I don't think you ever forget things like this. I don't think it's something that you can just put at the back of your mind. There are times during the day and that I think about it. Certain aspects of this. Of meeting Emmanuel. I could never say it. I used to say that to him. So it's one of those things that you have to move on. And unfortunately for me, the players have grasped that really in the performances. And now I think we've got 13 cup finals now.
And how much focus have you been able to give this Southampton game, and how do you view it now?
Yeah, we've done a bit of work like we did last week. We had to work really hard on the Bournemouth fixture because there's such a especially after the beating Chelsea 4-0. My daughter asked me if I was trying to keep it to single figures and my tactics. But you have to you try and work on what you think are your strengths and the opponent's weaknesses, and I'm sure they're doing the same with us. It's a difficult game for both of us. Possibly clubs like Southampton and one or two of the other clubs didn't expect to be in the position that they're in, really. Whereas I think we've always thought we would be around this area. So it's, probably expectations are higher. But we could go there in good spirits, and I'm sure we can give them a good game.
And if you manage to win, you could move out of the relegation zone, which would be a tribute to the players here and their focus over the last couple of weeks.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's what we're going to try and do. I mean, I don't think, in the next few games, I don't think there's any game that we shouldn't try and win. And tomorrow's game's the same as that, really. They're all important, and it's not going to define our season, but we want to get a good result really on Saturday.
Just finally, wider afield, there has now become what appears to be, to some people, a slightly unseemly dispute between two clubs over money. Has that disturbed you over the last few days? Has that become public?
Well, as I said earlier, I think I couldn't be more grateful to Mehmet and Ken because they're keeping everything away from me, and I think off the field they're dealing with all that, and I think that's the way to move forward. I think I've got enough on my plate trying to get things on the field of play. So, but they've been, I think, pretty amazing really with the press and everything else over the last few weeks.
Thanks, Neil.